Here we go, Monaco. The next race will be in Monaco. What an interesting race I think it will be. Monaco has always given us the almost race. And what do I mean by almost? Almost, as in, when you get to Monaco, every race in Monaco we've seen is, oh, you almost niched him. Almost. It's almost and always almost. So sometimes you think, oh, this person is going to win, but at the end of the day, it's not going to win. Why? Because most times they end the race the way they started the race, and sometimes strategy might give you an advantage in winning. Monaco is not a sure race that you say, oh, it's going to happen. It may not happen. That's how funny Monaco is. But what I'm going to see in Monaco this year, the cars have changed. And one of the reasons why the car changed is because we want to see overtaking on streets like Monaco. Now, in Formula E, we see a lot of overtakings. Last year, we saw some few overtakings, but 2 years ago, a lot of overtaking. Stroll is one of the king of Monaco in Formula 1. He makes sure he forces overtaking, and he makes sure he gives us some heck of a race in Monaco. But aside from that, what do I think will happen this year in Monaco? Let's look at it. The cars are smaller, lighter, and trimmer. Probability that we'll see more overtake are there. Now, on the engine side, would we see a lot of ice overtaking? What do I mean by ice overtaking? As an engine really trying to force its way out to overtake? I think we might not really see that. Why? Formula 1 have said they are going to keep a neat tab on front wings and the rear wings. So they won't be opening the front wings or the rear wings just to exert more power. And also, they might limit the speed because they don't want cars to just be jumping bongi in Monaco. So they'll be overtaking, but it will be a little bit tight because the technical regulations for the engine is not suitable. So I think it's going to be cut. Now, who are those that will have advantage? I think Mercedes, Ferrari, McLaren. Why would they have advantage? Mercedes have the power, as in that engine, that Mercedes engine is sharper prying. Where McLaren are using Mercedes engine, and they've been, they are second best team, but they are third in the championship standing. Yes, because one, the first two races they were not there. The last race in Canada, they were off the grid. They messed their own race up. That is one reason why McLaren are found wanting. But they are the second best team presently in F1. Take it or leave it. Now, we go to Ferrari. Ferrari have the best aerodynamics and the best car. You can see in Canada, Miami, every other race this season, that low speed corner, that medium speed corner, Ferrari is just acing it. As in, they were acing it like bread and butter. They were hitting it. They were just on point. You get it. But when it comes to engine power, nowhere to be found. They've been lost. Now, the Adduo might be coming up for them because we don't know the type of Adduo they'll be having. Is it the medium one or the probably I should be having the medium one? But they are having their major upgrade coming in Barcelona. We thought they would be having it in Hungary, but now they said Barcelona. But will it be the engine upgrade? We don't know yet. But the additional development for their engine should come up very soon. But what do I think about the Adduo stuff? Ferrari, I think is going to help the team. Why is it going to help the team? I think it's going to help them close the gap, but not in Monaco, because Monaco is a race in 7 days' time. They need to get their hearts out and get their minds up there to be like, we are going to Monaco, we need to do our best to make sure we are not behind on the race. And by which means do they need to do that? Very easy. Ferrari needs to close up and make sure their two drivers can qualify pole position and second position, and at that point they can, if they decide to use their drivers to win the race and probably come second. And that's what Ferrari need in this competition, at least to win a race. Put something up for the other teams to see that they are in it to win. They are not just in F1 to come and play this season. Red Bull, they have one of the best engines. They are second best to Mercedes engine, but unfortunately the aerodynamics is not there. They are losing points on aerodynamics, and we can see that. We truly saw it in Montreal, Canada, but Max Verstappen was able to push the car to the limit on the highest power, but Lewis Hamilton was able to push it on aerodynamics. So we saw how fast the car is, though slow, very slow, but they were able to the point that you would know that they have potentials in the car. Water pass Gary, that's the main thing. Water pass Gary for Red Bull. But for other teams, I think it's going to be very interesting to see what they are doing. A lot of teams will bring track-specific upgrades to Monaco. Almost all teams will bring track-specific upgrades to Monaco because the front wings might be different. Some of the beam wings, especially for the engine cooling, is going to be different. We want to see how they can maximize the opportunity which they are going to be having in Monaco, which will make it more interesting. Now, what do you think about Monaco? Is a street track, and that will be one of the fastest flowing street track. I think the shortest track on the calendar, with about 3.327 kilometers. That's about 2074 miles. That's a race length of 260.286 kilometers. That's a 161.734 miles. A 78 lap race that has been held 82 times. The first time the Monaco race was held was in 1929. Driver 18 Senna has won 6 Monaco GP. He is the king of Monaco, as in Monaco GP is one of the most difficult races, to win. Fortunately, Monaco, the heckles are always barriering, and it's going to be very interesting. We saw in 2004 when Kevin Magnussen took himself, Joe Perez, and his teammate Nico Hülkenberg out. We saw in that same 2024, Carlos Sainz almost out in lap 1, but due to the restart, he was able to get back into the race. Monaco, the walls are calling, the echoes are banging into the doldrums of the car to tell the drivers, are you focused? If you are not focused, you are losing this. So it's going to be a very interesting one to see what they will do. Lando Norris started on pole last year. He was able to win from pole and set the fastest lap of the race on the Papaya car. Now, 2 years ago, the Monaco race is a race in which we've seen Ferrari and the Red Bull really put a lot of effort. And we've seen Red Bull win with Perez, with Max Verstappen. Ferrari won with their golden boy, Charles Leclerc, I think in 2022. So it's going to be interesting to see what Ferrari can do with their car this year. How will Monaco be a special race for every team? Any driver that has won Monaco sees himself as a king, because winning Monaco, one of the most difficult races, makes you feel like a king when you win Monaco, because it's very difficult. Very, very difficult. Now, Charles Leclerc won in 2024. Certainly so. So for Monaco Grand Prix, that will be closed. We have the practice session for Porsche Super Cup by 7:30 p.m. It is reopened to the public. So on Friday, they are going to be closing the track by 7 a.m. also. From 11 a.m. we are going to be having the Formula 3 qualifying session A and B, then the practice session for Formula 1. Then after that, by 3 p.m. we'll be having the qualifying session A and B for Formula 2. Then we are going into the second practice session for Formula 1. Then the qualifying session for Super Cup will be coming up. Then track reopens by 9 p.m. at night. Now, on Saturday, the track will be closing as early as 6:30 a.m. The sprint race for Formula 2, the qualifying session for Formula 1 by 4 p.m. and the track reopens. Then, on the D-Day, the race day, the track closes by 5 a.m., 8 a.m. Formula 3, 9:40 a.m. Formula 2, 12 p.m. Porsche Super Cup, 1 p.m. Formula 1 starts. Then by 3 p.m. the Monaco Grand Prix starts. Then 8:30 p.m. it reopens. That's how the order will be. Now, for the weather forecast, it's looking like the weekend will be dry, mild, partly sunny condition on race day, but the whole weekend looks like it's going to be dry. Now, on Thursday and Friday, the conditions will be unsettled. There might be 60% of rain, which I'm not sure is going to come. Very scattered thunderstorm. But on Saturday, 60% chance of rain in the afternoon, which could be tricky, but I'm not sure it's still going to rain. But on Sunday, these are weather forecasts, not me. On Sunday, it's going to be a certainly one stop. They've tried making 2 stops, I think, last year, but this year is going to be a one stop. You can decide to choose 2 stops by yourself, but the teams are going to go for a one stop, because Monaco, you can go on one tire for that 78 laps in Monaco. You don't have problem. That's how funny Monaco is. But it's going to be a one stop, and that one stop takes mostly 20 to 24 seconds for the stop. Now, a very abrasive track, high braking, which means it's going to consume a lot of the tires. It's a low downforce track, which requires a lot of aggressiveness in driving and engine power. You don't really need your aerodynamics except in those slow corners. We're also going to be having the soft, medium and hard tires, and I think the racing tires could be the soft and medium tires, except it rains, which I'm sure it won't. But the racing tires should be the medium and the soft. Most drivers want to use the soft tires to jump ahead, then get it forward, maintain the pace to change to medium tires. So I think they'll be using the C4, C5 tires. The C6 tires have been rested, and I'm not sure they are going to be, because of Monaco bringing the C6 tires now. So it will be the C3, C4, C5 tire strategy that will be used in Monaco this year. And I think this is going to be a Monaco that will be very close, because the drivers will be driving majorly on raw pace and raw driving talents. A lot of things will be taken away from the drivers just to make closer race, and it's going to be very interesting. What else do you need to know coming to Monaco? I think you've gotten all you need to know in Monaco. Catch you guys on Friday for the first practice session and second practice session in Monaco. I love you guys. Bye. Cheers.